So today I'm going to be making a pork belly stew. I found the recipe online. I'll try to link it in the description. It sounded really good. I had almost everything I needed, and I really need to start using some of the older stuff in my freezer that I've picked up over the last couple years. Since I got the deep freeze, I didn't used to have that, so I'm not really used to having the extra space, so I tend to forget about some things, and this kind of gets piled in there. But I had pork belly, and so I have the stew almost ready. It's simmering right now, so I thought I'd just do a quick little thing for the front of the video. And yeah, I don't really know what I'm doing with this channel, but I'm kind of having fun sharing with a few people that watch my videos. Thanks for being here. If you want to keep watching, you know where to find me. So I'm going to attempt a pork belly stew this weekend. I was trying to figure out what I'm going to do with some of the stuff in my freezer, and I know there's a way you can make stew out of pork belly, and I got some randomly from work, so here it is all chopped up. The recipe I'm going to sort of follow. I don't have everything. I don't have the red wine because I don't drink alcohol. I don't have shallots, but you know, I got plenty of onion, carrots, little potatoes I got from the food bank a couple weeks ago are still good for my freezer, and then I have dried thyme and bay leaves, which will be just fine. I don't have whole tomatoes, but I got diced. I got a couple things of chicken broth, salt and pepper. It doesn't call for any garlic, so it might get some added in, because what is life without garlic? But anyway, I'm going to start. I have a pot heating up on my stove. I'm going to start getting these all crispied up. Just little pork belly pieces. Kind of interesting when you think about it. But I'm going to wash my hand now and get those started. Got some pork belly caramelizing, salt and pepper going on the next little batch. It does call for pork shoulder, but I didn't have any, but I had a huge package of pork belly, so I'm sure it'll be fine. You're just supposed to cook it until it's nice and caramelized, not burnt. This one's almost done. And I'll throw the other batch in and let it cook up. A lot of fat coming off of it to cook the vegetables. I totally underestimated how much smoke this is going to give off, so I forgot to turn my exhaust fan on for a few minutes. Turn my heat back up a little bit. And then try to open my door. It's a little smoky in here. That's okay. Gotta watch my kid, make sure she doesn't try to go outside. The door's right there, so no harm, no foul. I got my other little bit over here. Okay, well next is to throw your vegetables in. I have my potato, carrot, onion right here. You're just supposed to let it go until the onion, I don't know if you can hear me, so the onion is clear. Let it soak up some of the fat. It's called flooding, I guess. And then you'll pull them out, do your vegetables and the rest of it in a minute. It's only going to take a good 5 minutes to get the onions to cook down with everything else in here. I think it's going to be pretty good at the end. You can see my sort of caramelized. I don't like when it gets really dark and almost charred, so that's good enough for me. Okay, well my onions are about transparent. Getting all this stuff out of the pot. Takes longer than you think it does. Next I'll be adding in the aromatics, basically. I don't have fresh thyme, but I do have dried thyme, which works just as fine. I don't have shallots, but I can throw in a little bit of garlic, even though you know it's not garlic, but it's another layer of complexity to the dish. Okay, come on. I don't really care if I leave some onions in. It'll be fine, but I want to get all the carrots and potatoes out. Okay. With that done, then you're supposed to add 1 bay leaf, 3 sprigs of fresh thyme. I have thyme leaves. I'm just going to put a teaspoon. Seems like 3 sprigs worth. Might be a little too much, but whatever. Come on. And then I'm going to do a spoonful of garlic. Yeah. Whatever. And then you're supposed to add the red wine at this point. But since I don't drink wine, I don't have wine, I'm just going to put about half a cup of chicken broth in to deglaze the pan. And where's my hot? You're just supposed to let it simmer until it reduces a little bit. Let everything get nice and fragrant. So yeah, I'll let that simmer a little bit. We are reduced down about as far as it's going to go in this big pot before it gets stuck to the bottom. We put our pork belly back in, all the juices. And 2 quarts of chicken stock. I have broth. I got it on clearance a while ago at Walmart. They don't gotta be pretty, just gotta go in the pot. I know it's probably not good for you. It has all the extra stuff in it, but it's easier. And then tomatoes. I just have diced tomatoes with all the juices. Just use whole stewed tomatoes and crush them up, but I don't have any. Then you give it a good stir. We're gonna let this stew up, yeah, simmer. I suppose an hour to hour and a half until the pork belly's really, really tender. I'm gonna let it go for a little bit before I season it because it's canned. It's canned chicken broth, so I don't know how salty it's gonna be until everything soaks up. So the broth, pork belly will probably soak some of the salt out of it, and then I'll season it then. We are simmering away here. Got everything all in here. It says to skim the fat off the top as it cooks. There's not really any yet, but if I find out that there's a, whoops, camera. There's a lot later. I will get it off top, and then I have my little jar of fat, because you don't put fat down your sink. It ruins your plumbing. So this will be going for about an hour and a half to 2 hours, probably, because I'm at really like 3,000 elevation, so usually takes a little bit longer to simmer stuff. But then we'll add the rest in, season it again, and so far I haven't added anything into it, but since I had canned tomatoes and stuff, I don't want to season it till it's actually cooked. So it's been about an hour and a half-ish. I got some of the fat off the top of it as much as I could without taking too much broth out. I put salt in it. Basically the only seasoning I put in it. I might get a seasoning blend or something once I'm done. But it's time to add in the potatoes and carrots to let them finish cooking. You're supposed to let it go for like half an hour after you get the potatoes and everything back in. They've been sitting in my fridge. Now they're going to look a little weird because they're partially cooked and they've been sitting, but get it all. It's looking, it looks good. It smells a little, I don't know, maybe it's because it's not fresh thyme. It's not as strong as it would be if it was, but now it's looking like a nice stew. Look at that. Got potatoes, carrots, tomatoes. This is really, really tender. And yeah, about 30 minutes, 45 minutes, depending on how long it takes the potatoes to finish cooking. And then I'll see how it tastes and we'll season it from there. Alrighty, it is done. Potatoes are almost tender. Pork belly is super tender, fall apart, so I'm gonna just let it sit in the hot broth I have an electric stove, so it's gonna simmer a little bit more. I'm just gonna put the whole lid on so nothing goes. It's good flavor, but I'm pretty sure it's because I didn't use the wine reduction for the sauce that it's a little lacking in something. So I'm gonna use. I have this. It's like my catch-all for soups lately because it has a lot of nice ingredients. It has garlic, salt, onion, yellow mustard, chili blend, and some black pepper. Don't use a lot because it's actually really strong. But I think just a little bit of it is gonna push it over the top because right now it just basically tastes like pork and salt. But yeah, I don't take the top off because if I put too much, then it's way too much. So I'm gonna let that marry a little bit. I'll let it sit here because my kid wants to go outside, and I'm finally to a point that I can take them out. So that I have garlic bread ready to go in the oven because I need something to eat with it, and I don't know what to eat with this. What would you eat with it? I made garlic bread because garlic bread makes everything good. Here is the finished product. Yeah, it's really good. Looks really tender. The pork bellies melt in your mouth. Potatoes are nice and soft. Carrots are good. I had some green onions in my fridge, so I went ahead and diced one up to put on top for a little crunch. My garlic bread. And because I'm an odd little duck and I don't like listening to myself eat, you know, I'm sitting at my coffee table watching an old episode of Kara and Nate because they are great background noise. But anyhow, you never know what you're going to be able to try. If you can ever find pork belly, make a stew out of it. Or you can use it as like a side pork for breakfast if you don't like the extra salt and bacon. Around here it's really hard to get a hold of. But I happen to have gotten some, so I figured I'd give it a try. Pretty sure you can customize it however you want. I'm pretty sure I was actually thinking zucchini would be good in here, but I didn't have any. I just followed the recipe as close as I could. Anyhow, I hope this gives you a little bit of inspiration to try something new, and I'll catch you later.